Hello everyone! First of all, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Thank you all very much. A meteor shower is hitting the Earth tonight. Scientists are excited. Meteors often carry with them valuable minerals and materials from other planets that could help us understand our universe better. But this time, it's different. This meteor will bring with it something not from this world. Something alive. The meteor is huge, hundreds of feet wide. It's hurtling toward the Earth at 25,000 miles per hour. It's going to hit the Siberian wilderness, and when it does, it'll make quite the spectacle. But for now, the world is sleeping, unaware of what's about to happen. In the small town of Nizhny Tagil, 6 hours away from the impact site, Elena works in a hospital as a doctor. She's a brilliant biologist, but her true passion lies in geology. When she hears about the meteor, she can't help but feel excited. Taking a day off work, she drives with her son Anton to the outskirts of town to look for meteorites that might have landed nearby. In the distance, they see a bright flash, followed by a deep rumble. The forest is suddenly filled with light and heat. Could that be? They drive closer to the impact site and are met with a scene straight out of a nightmare. There's a huge crater in the ground, and all around it are the bodies of dead animals, birds and fish. All of them seem to be frozen in mid-scream, caught in the throes of some unimaginable terror. When Elena examines the meteorites littering the ground, she realizes these rocks aren't like anything she's ever seen before. They're black and oily and seem to almost ooze in the sunlight. Before long, however, the excitement of discovery overwhelms any sense of fear or danger. Grabbing a handful of the strange rocks, she puts them in her bag and heads home. Later that night, unable to get the mysterious rocks out of her mind, Elena takes them out of her bag and studies them closely. Suddenly, one of the rocks begins to move. Startled, Elena drops it only for it to split open and reveal a large white worm. Before she knows it, the creature has wrapped itself around her finger and sunk its sharp teeth into her skin. Pain shoots through her body and she screams for help. At the same time, deep in the Siberian wilderness, a group of scientists are doing their best to study the meteor before the Russian military arrives. The team is made up of experts from all over the world who come together to study the rare opportunity presented to them. There's James, a geologist from America, Maria, a biologist from Argentina, Kenzo, a chemist from Japan, and Hassan, an anthropologist from Egypt. These 4 scientists, along with their translator Katya, are the only people for miles around. They've set up camp near the crater and built a fire to keep warm. Suddenly, the sky lights up in the distance. What is that? They all wonder. Then they hear a sickening thud. Whatever it was, it landed just outside their camp. Bravely, they grab their weapons and head toward the noise. There lying on the ground is a large rock, but as James goes to pick it up, it moves. A single white worm rides on the ground before disappearing into the forest. The scientists split up and go in search of whatever this creature could be. They find more worms, but also something else. On trees, they find strange, disturbing symbols carved into the bark. Then they find tracks. The worms have left behind a trail of destruction, killing every animal in their path. Just then, one of the scientists collapses. He's in agony and his entire body is covered in strange, painful-looking boils. Hassan rushes to his aid, but there's nothing he can do. The man dies in front of them, transformed into what they come to call a meat morph. Frightened but determined, the scientists retreat back to camp. They need to get out of here. But their cars are destroyed, the tires slashed, and the engines ripped apart. They're trapped, with the creature from the meteor loose, and more on the way. They barricade themselves inside their tents for the night, praying that whatever this thing is doesn't find them in the darkness. As dawn breaks, the scientists emerge from their tents to find more dead animals. They're still finding dead animals. The creatures are everywhere. Worse still, the bodies of the meat morphs are beginning to bloat and decay, releasing a foul-smelling gas. If they stay here much longer, they'll succumb to the stench and likely die of infection. They need to leave. But just then, more meat morphs begin to appear, shambling toward the camp, drawn by the smell of living flesh. Trapped inside their camp with no way out, the scientists desperately try to defend themselves against the relentless horde of parasites. Using whatever weapons they can find, they fight to stay alive. Hassan is bitten, and the parasite quickly begins to take over his body. Watching helplessly, the others can do nothing to save him. They watch as he transforms into a monstrous meat morph, joining the others outside the camp. With their numbers dwindling and their ammunition running out, the scientists know they won't be able to hold out much longer. They need a miracle. Suddenly, they remember the radio in Hassan's tent. If they can get out a distress signal, maybe the Russian military can come and help them. But first, they need to repair the damage done to the radio. Using parts from their destroyed vehicles, they managed to jury-rig the radio to work. Now they just need to contact the military. But suddenly, Maria remembers the meat morphs seem to be drawn to Hassan's tent. If they can lure the parasites to the radio, they might be able to send out a signal. Bravely, they place food near the tent and wait for the parasites to arrive. Soon enough, they start to shamble toward the scent of human flesh. Elena and James stand by the radio, ready to broadcast a message for help. Just as the parasites approach the tent, Elena grabs the microphone. "We need help," she cries. "We're being attacked by a parasite from outer space. Our base is at the edge of the crater. Please come quickly." Then she holds the microphone close to the tent, so that the meat morphs outside can hear the transmission. The parasites screech and thrash wildly, apparently angry at what they can't get inside. This gives Elena time to send out a few more messages before the parasites rip the antenna from the radio and silence the transmission. Now that the radio is destroyed, the scientists know they're on their own. There are too many meat morphs, and they're only armed with makeshift weapons. Soon, the parasites will overwhelm them. It looks like they're doomed. Suddenly, Maria has an idea. Looking at the tent, she realizes they can use the poles and ropes to create makeshift catapults. Working together, they fashion several catapults and prepare to launch Using rocks, they hurl the projectiles at the meat morphs, driving them away from the camp. The scientists take this chance to run for the hills, racing deeper into the Siberian wilderness. The meat morphs give chase, but the humans are faster. Eventually, the parasites get tired and stop pursuing them. Panting, the scientists hide in the trees, watching as the meat morphs return to the crater, seemingly unwilling to venture further from their lair. For now, the scientists are safe, but they know they can't stay in the forest forever. They need to get to a road and flag down a car. Elena leads the way, keeping an eye out for more meat morphs. Suddenly, she sees something in the distance. Is that a road? Spotting a truck in the distance, she motions for the others to follow her. As they creep closer, they realize the road and truck were a mirage. There's no escape. They're trapped. Just then, the ground begins to shake. Emerging from the crater, hundreds of meat morphs shamble toward them. There are too many. The humans are trapped, and there's nowhere to run. At that moment, a helicopter appears above them, firing a large net at the advancing meat morphs. The creatures are snared, lifted into the air, and dropped into the back of the truck. The humans turn to see a team of Russian soldiers jump out of the helicopter. They've come to rescue the scientists. Onlookers watch as the soldiers load the survivors onto the helicopter. One by one, they're winched to safety and flown away from the disaster zone. But before they leave, they look back at the crater and the meat morphs shambling around it. As the helicopter flies away, the meat morphs suddenly raise their arms in unison and point them at the sky. The creature from the meteor has found them. And as it watches over its army, it knows it has a new host. It can spread across the earth and infect humans. But first, it needs to grow. What do you think about this monster? Leave a comment below to let me know what you think about this monster. And don't forget to give me a like and a channel subscription, so I have more motivation to release the next good episodes.